One company erased the game people had paid for, a record label rejected the Beatles, and one charity released more than 1.4 million balloons over Cleveland, then watched the weather turn against them. These are 5 real decisions that sounded defensible right up until the consequences arrived. Number 5. Cleveland Balloonfest. In 1986, the United Way of Cleveland tried to break a world record while raising attention for charity. Volunteers filled an enormous net with balloons in the center of the city. When it opened, more than 1.4 million balloons rose over Cleveland. For a few minutes, it looked incredible. Then, wind and rain pushed them back down across the roads, neighborhoods, and Lake Erie. The airport temporarily closed the runway. The Coast Guard was searching for 2 missing fishermen, but thousands of balloons on the water made the search harder. Lawsuits followed, and the image meant to promote Cleveland became evidence of what went wrong. Number 4. Ubisoft and the Crew. The Crew was sold as a racing game built around a huge online version of the United States. Players could drive across the country alone or with friends, but even playing alone depended on Ubisoft servers. Ubisoft removed the game from sale in December of 2023. On March 31st, 2024, it shut down the servers. With no offline mode, legitimate copies stopped working. Soon afterward, the game was removed from many player Ubisoft libraries. That turned one old game shutdown into a much bigger argument. When customers buy a game, are they really purchasing something they can keep or temporarily access that disappears whenever the company is finished? The backlash energized preservation campaigns including Stop Killing Games. Ubisoft did not just close a server, it gave the industry a warning about what players may no longer quietly accept. Number 3. M&Ms passed on E.T. Before E.T. reached theaters in 1982, the filmmakers wanted a recognizable candy for the scene where Elliot befriends the alien. Mars was approached about using M&Ms, but the company declined. The filmmakers went to Hershey instead. Hershey agreed to feature Reese Pieces and backed the movie with a major promotional campaign. E.T. became the year's biggest film, sales of Reese Pieces surged, and the candy became connected to one of the decade's most famous movies. M&M's remained a massive brand, but turning down E.T. handed its competitors an advertising moment that marketers still discuss more than 40 years later. Number 2. Ford Edsel. Ford spent years and hundreds of millions of dollars developing a new automotive division between Ford and Mercury. The company researched names, surveyed customers, created 18 initial versions, and launched the Edsel for the 1958 model year with an enormous advertising campaign. But customers met a car they did not understand. Its prices overlapped other Ford products. Its vertical grille became an easy target for jokes. Push-button transmission control sat in the steering wheel center where drivers expected the horn. Early quality problems damaged confidence, and a recession hit just as the car arrived. Ford expected a new American success. Instead, it ended Edsel production in November of 1959. The name became shorthanded for failure, not because of one terrible choice, but because research, pricing, styling, timing, and execution all failed together. Number 1. Decca rejected the Beatles. On New Year's Day 1962, the Beatles auditioned for Decca Records in London. They recorded 15 songs, but Decca passed and signed Brian Poole and the Trembles instead. The decision is linked to the famous claim that guitar groups were on the way out, although the exact wording in the speaker remained disputed. Manager Brian Epstein kept shopping the audition tape. Producer George Martin eventually signed the group to EMI's Parlophone label. Within 2 years, Beatlemania had spread far beyond Britain, and the band became one of music's most successful and influential acts. Decca's choice was not absurd at the time. The Beatles were unpolished, and the Trembles were closer to London, but it became perhaps recorded music's most famous missed opportunity. None of these decisions looked completely ridiculous at first. This is how the biggest mistakes usually happen. The warning signs make sense only after everyone sees the ending. Which one was the worst? Don't forget to like and subscribe.